Let's do the C chord, only we'll take away the open strings, I'm trying to say, and we will add barring. Good old C, ring, middle, index. If we come up one fret, now it gets terrible. Ouch. Okay, so that's pinky at the, excuse me, pinky at the 4th fret, 5th string, ring at 3rd fret, 4th string. Index lays flat on 3 skinny strings. Middle finger is on 2nd string, 2nd fret. That may feel really uncomfortable. You could take off your pinky for a second and play 4 skinny strings. Or you could take off the ring and just hit 3. Let's add the ring again. And the pinky. Or you could just start with the pinky. Add the ring and get 2 notes. Introduce the index finger gradually. You've got a root 3rd, 5th. That's a complete chord. Remember, the frets are furthest apart down towards this end of the guitar, so this is the hardest one. If you go one more fret, it's a little easier. We've got a D chord. Yikes. So once again, index is flat at 2nd fret. Bring in middle, ring, pinky. And again, you can remove the pinky and hit 4 strings. Remove the ring and hit 3 strings. Any combination of those notes will give you a D major chord, most likely. If you go one more fret, you got an E flat. Exact same thing. We're based at the 3rd fret, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. So the hard thing about this, you've got 4 fingers covering 4 frets. And that's a lot of stretching, isn't it? So if you're a little older, your hands may not be as flexible as they used to be. If you're younger, maybe your hands haven't built up the strength yet. I think I started playing when I was about 14, so I never stopped, so my hands didn't get stiff. But the rest of my body is pretty stiff. Not that part. Okay, go one more fret. That's an E major chord. You can include the low E. One more fret is F major. One more fret is G major. I was just thinking you could use your pinky over on the 1st string. One more fret is, I think that was G flat. Here's G. So the reason we do these is that you can get melodies and kind of beautiful fills and pads and nice things out of these chords. It's a pretty hard shape, you know, it's very physically, it's hard to get used to. But once you get it, it's really not a big deal. Here is just like when you learned an F chord, you know, remember that? It was terrible. Here's a G sharp, and an A sharp, B, and C. Ow, can I do it? So that's laying that finger pretty flat and straight. Index has to be pretty straight. Usually, many students, I'll say keep it straight, and then they'll come on, they'll bend it at the last second, no matter what. that is gonna not work. It's got to be very flat, super straight. So that takes a lot of reminders and a lot of practice sometimes. If you get into the habit of, curling your fingers. Well, the contrast is the index is flat, but these curl. So you could practice, sitting at your desk or watching TV or something. I don't know, whenever. It's almost like a meditation. Keep that index flat. These are going to curl. If they all curl, no good. There's a C chord shape barred. You could do minors, but they are really pretty difficult. Oh, let's try an E minor. Well, the advantage of an E minor is you've got open strings. That sounds great, but the rest of them as barred chords are going to be harder than the majors for sure. So this would be a 7, 5, and a 4, and open. Low E open. That's a 7, 5, 4. So I'm just playing with that bass note, descending, experimenting. That's what I want you to do, is experiment. You can always move a note in a chord and see what you've come up with, and you probably are going to hit some great things. So that's a minor that works, or an A minor is pretty cool. That's a 12, 10, 9 with an open, 2 open strings, or a 6. If we take it to G minor, it'll probably sound pretty bad. Or G flat. That could be cool. F. Oh boy, E minor. But you could take away the open strings and then the minor works, like a D minor here. Actually, that's cool. Okay. So here's like a C minor, which would be a 3, 1, 0. I like that. C minor. If we go 1 fret up, C sharp minor. That's a 4, 2, 1. One more fret, D minor. D sharp. E. F. F sharp. Minor. G minor. G sharp minor. And A minor. Which does work with open. Because you've got, that's an A minor, add 9. The B is a 2nd or 9th interval. So that is the C chord shape. Mess around with that, have some fun.